what is happening? Hello, internet. Hello, we are live, straight from my home studio. Welcome to live streams. Testing this new setup and see how it goes. If you watching this live, write down the comment and hit that like button. Check if the sound is okay, video is okay. Do not try to do 4K today. We're doing this ultra low latency on YouTube. So in this case, we will be more responsive to the comments. So this is why we are streaming in full HD. But this should be more than enough. So let me get back to my screen where you always looking at me at my screen. So I do want to check some comments here. All right, okay. I do see some comments here. Gleb is welcome to live streams. Gleb is here. This is fantastic.
We also have Pedro Marcus and Resper GU.
Stuff. Okay.
Hey, folks.
Let me see. I would like to introduce my partner in crime and my friend Sergei. Let's test it out sound so it would not sound like it was last time.
So I hope this time there will be no echo or anything. So hey everyone, looking forward to the next episode.
Internet, let us know. We will be able to react on this one immediately because like I said, we're trying to do less latency, so you will be able to see us almost instantaneously. So how does Sergei sound for you? Let me do it a little bit louder for me. So I would, if you feel that Sergei needs a little bit more boost, Sergei, can you speak up a little bit and I'll see in terms of level?
Of course I can. I mean, just give me an opportunity and I'll be talking.
Like on my side, sounds great, sounds amazing. And I think we're good. I think we are totally fine. All right. So what are we doing today? So, as always, trying to conquer the world, right? Everything seems to be really fine. Thank you so much for confirming this. We tried. We improved our setup, so we will be doing some stuff. And yeah, so. People saying this sound is fine, so it's okay. For those of you who joined us for the first time, what we're trying to do here, I brought up the expert in streaming technology that is on pair with me. So this is why we have a Sergei here, and we're gonna be hacking around. Sergei will be teaching me some of the ways of the reactive programming. I will be teaching him the ways of, I don't know, something, right? Like maybe KSQL or Confluent Cloud or something. Kafka, yes. And I see you wearing the right T-shirt today. I recognize this T-shirt, and I'm wearing the Kafka Summit. And this is the part of the year where my tattoo is back, which means that the Kafka Summit is coming to town. So I'm switching to my screen right now. Kafka Summit coming to town. It's a few more weeks. If you didn't register, go register today. And hope I will see many of you there. So how I can bring this Sergei to the screen? Let me switch to you so you will be able to talk a little bit and talk about what we're going to be doing today. Let me do this one, and I will remove myself from the picture. Yep. It's
okay. So plan for today. Okay. Plan for today is to continue what we were doing in our previous episode, and in our previous episode we started exploring the advanced gateway pattern, and we were using liiklus project for that. Before we start, I guess we should recap what we did last time and maybe refresh some knowledge. But I also see some new faces here, so maybe we should. We should. Okay, I see that there's some echo. Perhaps we should fix it.
I know how to fix this time, so no worries.
Okay. Good to know. So I'll continue while we're fixing it. So what we did last time, first of all, we wrote a lot of YAML, like this YAML and this YAML and also this YAML. And
you're sharing your screen. Just give me a sec. I'll switch back to your screen real quick. And I will bring back to your screen. Yep, this is where we are.
Okay. So it's going to be YAML right in your face. So we wrote some YAML, quite a lot of it compared to what we wanted to achieve. But anyways, with some YAML, we were able to deploy liiklus to some Kubernetes cluster, and it's running there, publicly available. And if we inspect it with something like maybe. Okay, and if we inspect, we see that there is an external IP. That's the same IP we were using last time. And 3 ports are exposed. The HTTP one, the gRPC port, and the RSocket port. So I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest, because I expected some to send more events, especially after the stream, since we shared different options how one can send events to this endpoint. So I really hope that this time we'll get more, interactions from our viewers, or maybe not. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll create it ourselves. So take a note that what we are doing here, we are running against an exposed service, publicly exposed. So I can also do the same actions, or maybe your own actions if you, decide to advance in what we are doing.
Do we have anything to share with people so they can, the comment to generate the load if they're trying to play around? For that matter, I brought up the old school notebook where I will be posting some of the comments from our. It's going to be our log, so we will post this afterwards to. Let me see what we're saying. We're saying it's going to be what? It's going to be shell sh, and I will be posting some of the. I probably have it somewhere in my echo.
I can also share the object with you, or like the command line command.
So let me do this view. How I can do this rep. Okay. So I should be able to wrap the text in. I
mean, we don't really have to go with gRP curl. It was just a nice idea to use it previously, but I guess this time we will continue with more programmatic way of sending events, and maybe we can add a service to. So instead of doing it ourselves.
We'll see. Yeah. So we have a couple things in mind. I think we can share some of the publisher. If you have any like the snippets of code, we can just like publish it, and the people can type with us, and we can also start the project from scratch. This is kind of like start with Spring.io style, right?
Yep. But anyways, I'll just verify that our service is up and running. So it's still up and still running. And this new event that I just sent has an offset of 15, which means that it's persisted. And if we look at Confluent Cloud that we were using, because remember before we wrapped the first episode, we actually in 10 minutes, was it 10 minutes or maybe less, we switched liiklus from in-memory to Kafka with a single deployment, and then we continued using the same gateway endpoints, but we started sending and consuming from Kafka, which is kind of cool, I would say. How likely? Hey, very likely. Cool. So, as you can see, we still have the topic, and if we send messages, they will arrive, of course, because it's Kafka. It just works. Cool.
Yeah, simply because we're sending only headers right now, right? So we're not sending this into.
Yeah, we can as well add some data.
So let me throw some links here as well. I will throw some links around so the people might join in the different places.
Oh, it must be base 64. I keep forgetting about this base 64 thing. So this is why I would rather prefer programmatic way.
Plan for today. So we're doing this programmatic publishing. And the next thing is that we probably will put this with the star, right? We will try to do some processing with KSQL DB potentially. Yeah, we'll see how it goes with the with these tools. Maybe we'll hit some of the we'll hit some of the roadblocks along the way. Now, so let's start with the programmatic and the programmatic publishing. So what we need to know in order to get this from scratch. I think this is here we can collaborate, and where you can throw me some of the code snippets that I can just copy paste into my IntelliJ.
Yep, sounds good. Maybe before we start with the code and stuff, Otto, I'm really excited about doing live coding, but maybe we should elaborate why programmatic access. And usually when you deploy a gateway, it doesn't mean that this gateway must be exposed to public. Although we do expose this time because we want to interact with it from our machines, it's more not like popular, but more appropriate to have a service that will be accepting classic requests, for example, and then transform them into events and send them to the gateway, right? Pretty much the same way we would do it with Kafka. I mean, why not? But there are some benefits of the gateway, and we'll explore the benefits today. But for now, I guess a good thing would be to create a programmatic publisher or producer for our deployed gateway so that we can hit some endpoint, for example, just with some post request, and then we'll send it to liiklus. And since we will need do some post requests and stuff, I guess you will need some web framework. Which framework will we be using?
And I know one. It's I think so. I will ask you here. So this is the question that I'm interested in. So since we have this like publisher, I know what we're doing this in general. Like I know why we're doing this right now in our code is just to demonstrate how some service can interact with the like Java service, or like any type of service can interact with the other service through gateway. Why not use just the kind of this proxy approach? Why we're just using this the gateway? So for example, like I can have the REST proxy to publish to Kafka directly. Like apart from the being ability to provide the ability to handle like transformation, let's like quickly remind our listeners why we're doing this again. Because like every time we start talking about, okay, let's bring in another web framework, things like, oh yeah, so we're building REST proxy for Kafka again. So the main benefit of the gateway, what we're trying to get here.
First of all, it's like efficiency, because we're using protobuf here. It's a binary protocol. Compared to the REST one, I guess it's a bit more optimized. But also, we have an entry point, or a common entry to everything we publish, so that we can control it better, like checking for schema, for example, or doing other things, all in one place. And we can also extend it with our own plugins, which is a very valuable feature.
Good point. So I will put this in my list of things that we're trying to do. Is also we're trying to do things custom plugin. We might do like whatever we want, like, but in general, custom plugin can be see, there's just like a one live stream, and I already know how to spell it correctly. The end, I even just do. Let's do this one. Where is it?
It's very easy. Just type liiklus with one I and let MacBook keyboard do the thing. It will just duplicate I.
Okay, so it can be custom authentication, right? It can be rate limiting.
Yep.
It can be what else? Like what else we can imagine here?
Different checks. Maybe
like, exactly like a schema check. Or like maybe even transformation.
Routing. For example, we are migrating from one cluster to another, and we want to redirect messages that we no longer publish to the legacy cluster. We start publishing to the new one, but we don't want to deploy this change to all 50 microservices we have. And instead, we can just deploy the gateway once, and it will start redirecting. And we also have access to the content of the messages we publish, so that we can say events of type X should go to cluster A, and events of type Y should go to cluster B.
Word, for some reason, like word wrapping, it doesn't work for me. I would just like put this in one list. So some cool things. In some of the plugins, as far as I can tell, they're already there, right? So there's something that you already implemented. But we'll see. Maybe even if we will not finish it today, the idea of the custom plugin and idea of providing this type of capabilities is fairly cool in my opinion. So let's get to it. Let's start with this. So we're done with this. We'll do a check mark. We're done with the recap. I was wondering if it doesn't work here. Strike through doesn't work here. So let's talk about the programmatic publishing. How does it work and what we need to do, like what one needs to do to integrate with this framework.
Well, publishing is very simple because it's just request response style communication. You don't have to do streaming, you don't have to do window processing or whatever. You just call some endpoint over and over and over. This is why it was so easy for us to use gRPC curl to perform this request. And it's the same experience from be it Java, Golang, JavaScript, or any other gRPC or RSocket RPC supported technology. So for publishing, can we? And we have a question that I would like to answer, by the way. Andreas is asking
whether we can... my screen with the questions. Let me see. I don't...
I'll just read it. So Andreas is asking whether we can put load balancer in front of brokers. And if by brokers you mean liiklus instances, then that's indeed what we are doing, actually. We have a service of type load balancer, and then we balance the traffic to the underlying instances. And for publishing, you can also use more advanced balancing, let's say for gRPC, that will be doing round robin between the instances or something. Or you could also do client-side load balancing, which is supported in gRPC, but this is a bit out of scope for this one. And one of the things I really like to say about liiklus and the idea is that we are not inventing our own protocol. Because when you look at, for example, Kafka or other technologies, most of them, they have their own protocols, which means that you need to know how to implement TLS, or even worse, mutual TLS, or how to do load balancing. And this knowledge, you cannot obtain it from anyone but the afterwards of the technology. While in liiklus, the idea was to reuse as much of infrastructure as possible. This is why it's based on gRPC and also RSocket, or to put it differently, it exposes the API via gRPC and RSocket RPC. And it makes it very easy to answer questions like, does it support load balancing? It does, because gRPC supports load balancing.
And so, I think there's no, at least for me, or maybe some people will have like the question about the performance and things like that. So we're not talking about thing that is doing some heavy processing. So we need to have something that will be always be bound to network type of latency. So the performance of the system will depend on, the latency of the underlying network. And for that matter, that can be, some of the different protocols can be leveraged, like TCP based or text-based like HTTP. So it's probably, we can talk about performance in sometimes in future. Agenda for, let's say, for today, for 8:21. Oh, sorry, 12. But we can talk in future. We can talk a little bit about the performance aspect, which also might bring us to this aspect of introducing some custom plugin that will do how I can do this. Yeah. Here.
Well, since we are playing with the technology, I think we could also measure the performance of it eventually. I mean, do some benchmarking or just evaluate the performance of our final solutions that we deploy. We can definitely do that because the performance is predictable. And it is predictable because most of the components were already measured. gRPC is known for good performance, as well as RSocket, of course. And inside liiklus, everything is synchronous, reacting, non-blocking, blah, 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 which kind of also suggests that it is performance focused. But later, eventually, in some episode, we can also do some measurements and compare different approaches. Of course, why not?
Yeah. So I think the clarification to the point where we need to have a load balancer here, because we're running this in Kubernetes, in the way how we can expose this without giving you, I don't know, like the cluster IP or whatnot, right? That might be changing every time the code would be rescheduled. We're giving you the address of load balancer. In this case, it will just like simply route traffic to instance of this application. So this thing is mostly Kubernetes thing. So
I mean, this part is specific.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is what this was confused the people in terms of like why we need to have load balancer. Again, it's just a Kubernetes thing, and we're using this just to expose this to outside world. Okay.
But I guess it's worth to repeat that liiklus is not specific to Kubernetes. Like you don't need Kubernetes to run liiklus. You can also run it in traditional environments. It gives you a Docker image, which is the easiest way of running it. Like you can just run it with liiklus, something like that. It will fail because we didn't set required properties. But anyways, at least you can see that it's as simple as Docker run. And yeah, just we are using Kubernetes because it's easier and it's also easier for us to deploy it and make it available to others.
We should have included this Kubernetes thing in our in tweet. In this case, we'll have a more audience to watch it because the Kubernetes is always brings a lot of attention. But anyways, we're just using this as a very what word I'm looking for. Not opinionated, but rather what word I'm looking for. So it's more like we just need to find to deploy applications somewhere. We know how it works, just like we use Kubernetes. Okay. So I think it's good that we already set the recap of the things what we do, and this is where we start doing something interesting. With the with integration with liiklus in clients and people can also like follow along if you want to do that. They definitely can follow me along because I'm not the fastest typer. So in this case, you can definitely can execute things faster. So where do we start?
Oh,
so
there isn't much to type.
Say it again?
There isn't much to type, so I guess
that's great. I love this type of
publisher.
Let me put the headphones because I'm not don't wanna ask you to repeat every time, so I will hear you loud and clear. Okay, let's go. So what are we doing?
So the screen is yours, and well, I would quote the person who I admire, and he inspires me many things. So yeah, just start.spring.io. Easiest way of getting a microservice running for me.
Okay, so, we'll do Gradle as always. Not Kotlin, not today. Groovy also maybe not today. A simple liiklus client publisher. We call it publisher, or will we call it producer?
Let's call it producer. Do not confuse with reactive publisher. Okay. Or maybe like we don't really need to be specific about it being a liiklus publisher or producer. Let's rather focus on our domain. Maybe we should choose some domain for this service, and we'll start doing something. Maybe it will be user service, or what would you prefer? I mean, I think the easiest would be user service.
Movies, all my domain around movies, and I.
No. Remember we started. So I'll give you a hint if you see my screen. Remember how we started the stream, how we decided to continue it, on which theme we wanted to focus.
Okay, so it's tracking some data around COVID-19 and things like that.
Yep, why not?
Awesome. So in this case, how we're gonna recall this service then? Like, let's do just COVID.
I believe it will be either user service or maybe device service.
Device?
Yep.
Talk to me about domain.
People.
We're talking to. Okay, so let's do. I don't know. Let's call it service. We'll figure out figure out later. We can always.
We start with monolith.
Yeah, we start with monolith, and after that we'll figure out the how to extract. What kind of dependency I need to add? You said the web. I need to add the web service.
Yeah, or maybe webflux, because we already have reactive client, and we can make use of the non-blocking nature of it.
Reactive web, okay. And that's it?
Actuator maybe just for better serviceability.
And
I think that's it. Everything else we may add later.
Perfect.
If we want to.
So click generate. Generate. Let me bring the console into play. Do you see my screen, by the way? The how's latency for you in terms of?
It's fine. I kind of predict what you're doing.
This is and the people on the internet also let us know if you live there and you want to, I don't know, chat something or ask something. Unzip, and we're doing what the service, right? It was service, and I'll go to inside the service, and here I'll do IntelliJ. Also, let me know if sound of my keyboard is distracting for many of you, since it's a mechanical keyboard, and yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. The reason why I have a nice shell completion is because I want to get the compliments from the people, and the people saying, "Yeah, have a nice shell completion."
So it was inventing hours into configuring, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean I could configure this once, I guess, and let me do a presentation mode, but without going into full screen. So to appearance, I'll do presentation mode. It will bring me to full screen, which I don't want. And after that, I will go out of full screen because I want to stay in presentation mode. Come on, where is it?
Okay. While we're starting things and preparing everything, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can proceed, because we have two options. Option number one would be to just take the protocol file and use gRPC and protobuf plugins for Gradle and generate it. But there's another option. It is optional, hence option, but it's still useful, because if you don't want to generate this protobuf stuff in every project, you could also use a module from liiklus called client. And it is a very thin client. Let me open it. So it is a very thin client, but it helps you, and it gives you already pre-built protobuf definitions, which is nice.
Let's start with client. So in this case, we're going into liiklus.
Yeah, this one. And to add a dependency on the client, you will need Jetpack, because liiklus is not published at the Maven Central, but Jetpack is a great service for basically getting the thing from the sources.
Okay, examples, liiklus. Is there anything that we have it here somewhere? Do I need to go to inside where? Inside the client? And meanwhile, since we're hacking this around, you also can fix your documentation.
Yep.
Yeah, along the way. So let me see. I do have a Jetpack probably described.
Check plugin. Open examples plugin.
And we'll have a build.
And then you will need to add a Maven repository for Jetpack.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. So we're bringing this into here.
And then line 45 can copy the group ID and the entry of the client and the version. I would suggest using actually the latest release candidate because, it's 0.10.0 RC1.
You're saying we're doing client. Okay, so we're going to be using this guy. It's our... So I can use all this thing except of testing. I don't need to use testing here. Right? And...
oh, not yet. Actually, client is the only thing you need. Because it's a API is there for the plugin.
Okay, cool. So let's do this one. The 9, you said what? Which version?
0.10 0-RC1.
So how about this one? So we're going to the Jetpack and see whatever we have there. So
but you need to remove the dependency set because it's from Spring dependency plugin.
Okay.
You can just inline the whole thing.
Hey, did you have it? Like a look up? Expected this one. Okay, let's see. Whoop. Okay, not found. Why is that? I thought
because it's psetup/liiklus.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And we're going into Gradle. And we're going into here. We just go in this implementation bit. And we get this.
Yep. Now if you select RC1 and scroll down and select sub-project client, it will give you the exact line you should be using. Oh, you already have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the API, but we need client.
Okay, so I'll just do client and refresh my Gravel project. Okay, so I brought this in. Let's start with something something easy, right? We'll do class, just testing this publisher, right?
Yep.
Publisher. And in this case, it's going to be a component. And it's public void publish. It's just, to start with simple.
Well, I would say it's too much abstractions, but it's up to you.
Who says?
I would say it's too much of abstractions, but it's up to you.
I just like to, start playing around with like something simple. It's okay. I can go inside here, but it's just like once I have it in this form, I can extract this and move this to another place, not only in Spring. So in this case, it helps me to have this one. All right, so we have it. For the people who want to follow us, I'm putting this log get dependency from here and like from Jetpack. Hit this like button if you're also using Jetpack for your home project. Yeah, just like do not forget hitting this like button. It definitely rise our mojo and motivation to to do stuff. All right, so we have it here. Next, we do have examples. Do you have a publisher example?
Let's make use of type safety. Just you will need gRPC liiklus client instance. Okay. And then follow the constructor, and it will be just standard gRPC routine.
Okay, so we say...
If you have code from our previous stream, by the way, you already have part of it, like the channel builder.
RPC, gRPC, I saw it somewhere. liiklus client. Okay, so what it needs us have some channel reactor liiklus service stuff. Can I just pass the URL and saying, hey, just connect to this one, or it needs to follow this?
Well, you really need to select what you're using for. I mean, I guess you could, but since we are using gRPC, we also want to make use of all the features of gRPC, like TLS, for example, or mutual TLS, and then URL would not be enough. So that it accepts the channel, but it's as simple as native channel builder for target use plain text build, for example.
Okay, we do native channel builder for. It is here we can specify the URL. Oops. For the for target, and in this case you also send this to me. We're still running this port in 6565, so in this case we can put this here. Sure. And
we are running in a plain text mode. This is why we have to use plain text. But you can also use TLS, and I guess later we'll configure TLS for liiklus. Just for now, it will be plain text.
For some reason, I need to disable this like stupid thing. I have the text expander I use for many cool things, but sometimes like some of the text expander default things are super annoying. So now we have this the channel that we can pass here. Channel. Okay, cool stuff. Next thing is that do we have publish? Are we ready to publish? Or it's not there?
You're ready to publish, yes.
And
let me answer the question from the chat meanwhile.
Yep, I will
while exploring
I will
how
put
to
this
publish.
on the screen.
So the question is it possible to run liiklus only with RSocket? And the answer is yes. And the good thing is that gRPC and RSocket are plugins. So in liiklus core, there is no notion of transport at all. So you add plugins for transport, and there are two built-in plugins, one for gRPC and one for RSocket. Disabling or removing the gRPC plugin would essentially remove anything gRPC from liiklus. There is, of course, protobuf, because protobuf is used as a definition of the protocol, but gRPC is optional, and you can use RSocket only. Why not?
All right, so we're going into back to our screen. Now, so I'll do publish. So publish request, is it the publish request is this
It is the same thing we wrote last time. So if you still have that code, then you can just
I don't remember. Just let's create local variable publish request, and you get Pedro with this like in the comments. We appreciate this, but if you hit the like button in UI, it would be even cooler, more karma. So the publish request, what is that? So what it does need in terms of here? So builder.
So first of all, we will need topic, obviously, because we need to decide in which topic we want to publish. Let me have a look, but if I remember correctly, we were using topic name events. Yes.
Let me see if I can use var. It's not Java 11 yet, right? So var, it's Java 14.
No, var is Java 9.
Oh, I can use var. Let me see why my IntelliJ is not. Yeah, just Java 11. It says should be okay. So it's gonna be var or val.
It's var.
Var.
But yeah, sometimes things happen with IntelliJ, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's continue with good old
events.
Oh, actually, yeah.
No, it works. It works.
So the topic is events. Yes. Then you can use publish request new builder to build a new publish request. This part is standard to.
I like the way you think. I like this. Yeah, I like the protobuf thing in the builder publish request and new builder.
Yeah, there's a static method.
Yeah, new builder. So what do we have? What it says because I'm doing this something stupid. Why it's not? Got it. I'm doing stupid. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Anders.
And we appreciate your support as well. Builder. So what do we have here? So what's the fields are mandatory? Last time we learned that the header information is important, right?
Yes, but these are the events fields, or like fields of the event.
Set topic.
While on publish request, it's as little as topic and liiklus event.
Are you married to this name? Like, can we, maybe come up with a better name? Maybe internet will come up with a better name that.
No. You mean liiklus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I regret about naming it liiklus.
Why? No, I mean it's cool, but why regret? It's already great.
I got some ideas, but they have a bit broader scope and a bit more connected to concrete technologies and products. So
okay.
I'll not be talking about them yet, but eventually, let's wait for it.
So, what stuff we need to put here?
Before you do it, wait a second. I will not be telling it, but you can check yourself by going to cloudevents.io.
Yes. I was waiting.
And standards are everywhere.
Yeah, cloud events. I will put this. We have another Estonian friend here that also support the liiklus name. Thank you, Gleb. Okay, so we're using. Did we talk about this last time?
I think we touched it a little, but I guess we could also talk about it a little bit more.
Okay. I'm wondering what the hell is going on my other screen and why it's going like crazy. Let me see. So, cloud events. Let's talk about cloud events. I'm switching to the screen where like our faces are talking. So, essentially, I think it was the idea to develop a specification and language agnostic format of for like event-driven, data-driven applications, right? In a world of cloud-native software foundation or whatnot, you know. And there was a lot of work that many different teams, many different people who were involved there, they doing this type of stuff. So essentially, we can find a specification if we want, but we're more interested. Yeah, I think specification is what we want. We want to take a look on the Java SDK, and we'll see what exactly is there.
No, I don't even think we need the SDK, to be honest, but just the spec should be enough.
Yeah, should look on the latest release using the standard, or I'm just looking to see if there is a if there's examples. You probably shared with me on a separate channel previously, right? I probably have it.
There are. If you follow the specification and open version 1 of the spec, then you'll find required attributes section. And later in the document, if I remember correctly, if you scroll down, there will be an example with optional fields set as well. But for now, it's enough to just set the required attributes.
Required attributes. Let's see. Are you performing any like a check on this side? Required attributes: ID, source, and specification version and type. Okay, let's go here. So we're doing this liiklus event, set liiklus event. Where are we? Yeah. So we have it here. New builder. Set ID. ID can be just whatever, like my event, right?
Sorry, have you switched to your screen?
No,
or
I
it's
have
just
not.
You and me.
No, that's a good point. I just typing around. So I will put this in a log cloud events, and I will put this link to the page where we're talking about example. Or specifically, we're talking about required attributes. I think this is more important to include rather than example. Okay, so we do have it afterwards. ID string, it must be source plus ID.
It must be unique per source.
Okay, source ID. Okay, my event and my. Can I generate this one? It's going to be random ID, right?
Of course, yeah. Just UID would be enough. But if you have some source of events, like for example, you're streaming a bin log from your whatever MySQL database, and you're using something like the Debugging or something else, most probably you already have an ID that you can set it. This is why you provide the ID and not the SDK decides which ID it should have. Plus, it also helps with identity or whatever.
To make when I cannot pronounce something, I'm trying to come up with different way to explain this. To make message idempotent.
Okay, it doesn't help me, but okay.
But like the people will get the idea, right? Set specification. So you don't need to set specification version, right? So in this case, you will handle this spec version. So in this case, you handle this by framework and type. What's the type? Set type. let's see what type says. And attribute contains value describing type of event related to original occurrence. So this is the business related event, right? So it can be something like, say, IO Confluent developer, and let's just call it, I don't know, COVID event. Can we talk about this? On YouTube, I know that they might lower the relevancy of the content if we mentioning this directly. COVID, whatever. Just let's call it this one, right? Or we call it developer live streams.
We are doing it not for YouTube after all, right?
Well, I still have this idea that maybe someday some of these live streams will pay our, at least for internet and bandwidth or something like that. Okay, so I think we're good. In this case, we put all these required attributes. Now, we do have this event. We just run the build. We get this request, and we have this request here. So that should be enough, right?
Yeah. Okay. But don't forget that publish is a reactive operation, which means that you need to either subscribe on it, but that would run it in background kind of, or you can use .block so that you just block the current thread until you get the result.
So, and yeah, will I get the result from the block method?
Yes, you will.
It's
method. It's not. Okay.
I'm looking to, let's see what I have here. Response, right, or reply. And reply. What do we have? Do we have any kind of indicator, like a status, or saying that this is something that we get?
Well, if you got the replies, then it was successful.
Okay.
And so you should have offset, partition, topic, and few other things, if I remember correctly, that helps you to identify the destination the event went to. Because remember I said that we could also redirect things. We could send them to topic events, but it will go to something like legacy events, for example. So that when you get the reply, when you receive the reply, you can also inspect some things if it matters for you. It also helps in testing, because when you test, you want to know, okay, you sent, and the offset will be this, so that when your consumer reaches the offset 15, which was returned from publish, then you're up to date and you just reached the event you sent.
So this is our how I can show this. Okay, so I need to show another screen with Confluent Cloud window, right? So in this case, I'll see that my data will land there. So one password will do focus now.
If you have my screen, I can open it on my screen because I'm monitoring.
Yeah, we can do this one as well. So, okay, I will be publishing this one. Just let me run it. And we'll switch to your screen immediately. So no messages yet. The building. And meanwhile, yay! So I think it's gone. You should be able to see it. Yep. Okay.
Yep,
so it's
I have it.
You have it. This stuff. Okay. Cool. So we received this now. Now you learn how you can do this in. So let me show you where, just in case, after this video will be done, we will do. There's a project called Demo Scene, and live streams, all the live streams log and notes and code that we will be producing will land here somehow, or you can follow us on GitHub and just find this in our repositories. And we will definitely put this in show notes in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit this notification. Don't forget to hit like. You can hit like during this translation to the live stream multiple times, which is cool.
Really?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, well.
So, do we have... Okay, so we have this... Okay, now it doesn't look like a real cloud events because you're putting some of the wrapper around, right?
Now, actually, it is a real cloud event. I mean, at the protocol level, we use liiklus cloud event, and the reason is simple. The cloud event community have not agreed on a common definition for cloud event in protobuf yet. They are working on it, and they are about to finalize the new format. There used to be one, but then they dropped it. But now we will have a new cloud event, how to say, protobuf specification, and liiklus will migrate to the official protobuf specification because it's all about standards. Like liiklus is just a bunch of standards connected one with each other, which is kind of nice. But for now, we use liiklus cloud event, which mirrors the fields you would find in cloud events.
Yep.
But under the hood, the cloud events Java SDK is used. So that when you publish to Kafka, for example, or read from Kafka, it uses the Kafka SDK implementation.
Can I say we kind of like a successfully programmatically published event here into our liiklus instance?
I think we can. So depends on your definition of done, but if you ask me. Or maybe not. Okay, no, I don't like it. We just run some code, but that's not cool. Let's add an endpoint. Let's just hit an endpoint and make it result in event. Okay. Okay.
So what will make will make it as a success in your book? At least we can pass to the next one, to the next point of our agenda today.
Let's change component to REST controller.
Okay.
And our publish becomes post mapping.
I like the way you think. And we'll do what? Publish. I'm very original.
Yeah. And we're using webflux, which means that we are not supposed to block. And if we run this code, it should fail, actually. This is why let's change it to something like, instead of void as a return type, we'll be returning mono string, like string representation of the publish reply. Why not? We could as well use the blocking SDK and blocking gRPC client. Why not? As it is just gRPC.
I like it. That's pretty cool. You see, this is IntelliJ IDEA rules. It shows the documentation saying an appropriate blocking method call inside this one. That's cool.
Because it's standard. Yeah. Because Project Reactor is based on standards, and reactive streams is a standard, which says that you should not block inside, like you must not block inside reactive operators.
In this case, cool. I'll do subscribe, right? And
no, not subscribe. Let's just return the result of publish and map it to string of it.
So in this case, it's gonna be. Where are we? So let's do this one. Return the how we can extract the something meaningful from here, like
you don't. Just do return client.publish .map object to string as method reference, and that's it. Spring webflux will do everything else for you.
Ah, okay, I see. I see how it's done. Okay.
And
that's pretty cool.
As I say, the same type. So Spring knows how to subscribe on Mono because it implements Reactive Streams Publisher. and it also has integration with Project Reactor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when we're doing this, let's get some of the parameters extracted. So let's just say we need to put some of the payload, right? So some of the set data. So in this case, it's a byte string. So do I need to do this like a base 64 bullshit, or I can just put the any string here?
You can use byte string dot value of or something, and it will wrap a string for you.
Okay, so just to byte string. Byte string dot.
Or copy from something like that.
Yeah. Hello from live streams, and we'll do plus param. We'll do this one, and with param is going to be our create parameter param. It's going to be method string. Should good, looks good, and we'll do what's the notation we should use here?
Request param.
Request param. Request param, and that should work, right?
Or if you need body, then it will be request body. I think it will be better if we use request body.
Request body, okay. So request, but like I don't. You need to help me with curl then, because I don't remember the syntax.
Don't you use HTTP py?
HTTP, yes.
Then it's just echo your string pipe to HTTP pipe, and
nice.
That's it.
And we will hit our HTTP server, right? So let's do. Let's restart this. Okay, hopefully. Okay, so it's up and running. Now, I'll do hello. Okay. Oh, no, let's do this one. So we'll do, you can follow me on Twitter. To HTTP. What's the port? It doesn't look.
8080?
Doesn't. No, it's a register. Okay, good stuff. But I don't see.
Wrong pipe. It's not pipe. It's redirection. So we need to use pipe operator.
Sorry. 8080/publish. Nice.
Boom.
So in this case, since it was mono, it's a standard thing, and Spring knows how to serialize this into response and send this back to any client. So in this case, we should be able to see it. Can we? So can you click on this event on your screen so we can show what's the what's inside? So in this case, we still have a same header, right? And the value, now it's important, we actually including some of the text here. So it is just a string. So the even Cloud UI was able to, let's do one more time. So you also need to follow this guy. That's correct?
I trust you. I'm lagging behind a little bit, so I trust you.
I need to go and check, and the really easy way to check this one is
it's side.
We'll fix that. Let me put this on the screen real quick.
Be careful, because everything you're publishing to your event log will be immutable, right? So you cannot change it, or maybe you can. But we will talk about it later.
We will talk about this later. Essentially, there's an interesting idea how we can combine some stream processing. For example, stream processing, and one of the use cases is deduplication of events, or like compaction. right? Duplication. Yeah, that would be interesting thing to do.
Yeah, I think you're not sharing your screen.
I am not. You're right. Stupid of me. Thank you so much. It's very nice to have someone as a copilot, because one of the reasons, like, let's talk a little bit about, like, let's chat with people. People, are you still there? Like, are you still watching? Let's talk about this. It's a little bit lonely with these the pandemic days, and let me also put my Twitter handle here. And this is why I think this is one of the reasons that people trying to come up with the ways how they can communicate with people, right? It's good that we can talk to each other, but like, what about the audience? We cannot go to conferences. Even like a Spring One this year is also virtual, and even I'm doing a workshop there, and I don't really know how it will run, because it's going to be using some like virtual platform to do that, and it's interesting. And I think this is one of the cool things about these live streams, at least for me, is to feel comfortable with doing things. So the colleague of mine, he actually said that when you do video or like a pre-recording something, you're trying to make everything perfect, because this video will stay there forever, right? And approach with these live streams, or approach with conference, or approach with someone is shooting you, like recording you when you're doing meetup, is that it's not necessarily will be perfect, because you might fail, you might have some brain fart and things like that, you forget something will go wrong, internet, Wi-Fi. And I guess having ability to have this kind of conversation with the people and make sure that you're okay if things will not go like very well, or like it will not be ideal. What do you think in this pandemic days? What do you do to get this conference thrill?
What I do?
Yeah.
Well, I struggle. That's the only thing I do. I really struggle because I cannot participate in these online conferences. That's just not my thing. I'm getting, very depressed each time I do something online, most of the time. I mean, I'm really enjoying our stream, but it's a bit special. It's not a conference talk. As usual, we have a conversation, we talk to each other, but when you present when you present at online conference, you're not getting a feedback. And usually feedback is something that energizes me. And if there is no feedback, obviously, and giving a talk, maybe it's just me, but giving a talk is a lot of energy that's required to give a good talk. And you need to energize during the talk, because no matter how much energy you got before the talk, eventually you'll go down to zero, unless you get the energy back from your listeners, from the attendees of your talk. But with online format, it's almost impossible.
Good point. Yeah. This is a very good point. Sometimes I feel sometimes when the conference ends, for example, and I'm getting back to my hotel room, I'm almost like drained. But this is good feeling, meaning that I accomplished something. I was there with like my audience, with my people. We talk about things, and I'm happy that this happened, meaning that I was productive, meaning that there was a good conference, good questions, and I deliver like whatever I came to do there, right? So I totally agree with you. And live streams is somehow, I found this kind of like a replacement for this online conference. But people, write something to us in the comments if you still listening. I still believe, 12 people have a good retention. 11 people joined, 12 people stayed, and we already passed 1 hour. I understand it's still kind of like a second screen experience, but hey, let us know how we're doing. All right, so now we have this programmatic configuration. Now, what we can do with this?
So, what I suggest is I take the control.
Yes.
And I want to do something about the things you started publishing.
Yes.
So keep your publisher close, and close to you, not closed. And maybe you even find a way to deploy it somewhere. I don't know, anywhere, whatever. If you have some random Kubernetes cluster running, and you can just deploy it there. But while you're doing it, I'll be taking the screen, and what I want to do is I want to show how to customize liiklus, because so far we were running the upstream one, just the upstream image. And the only customization we did is setting some environment variables. But obviously, as I said, the power of liiklus is in plugins. And this is plugin, by the way. And if we switch to this screen, this is plugin, this is plugin. Everything is a plugin. It's almost like OSGI, but only the good parts of OSGI. So,
which is what?
pluggable way of doing things. Anyways, okay. Yeah, I'm also struggling to find the good parts, but apparently there are some. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna to create a liiklus service, my local one, and I will start with Docker file from this side up, liiklus latest.
How you say this? I just like the way how you pronounce your nickname. Side up.
Side up.
No. The way how you said this right now, like, can you like say the same intonation, like same voice?
B side up. I mean, it's just
but a little lower. B side up. B side up. I don't know. I found this was like very.
If you're trying to say that I'm saying it as Psyduck, then it's almost true.
Love it. And hit like if you got the reference about Psyduck. If we have any like Pokemon lovers there. And yay!
Yeah, this guy is gonna help me.
Yes, exactly. It needs to be there for like for the next streams as well.
Okay. So as simple as that. What I'm doing here is I'm building a Docker image, and now what we'll be deploying to our cluster instead of the liiklus instance we had is our custom Docker image based on the upstream liiklus image. I will not be doing anything like concrete here yet. No files, nothing like that. I just want to deploy this custom build image.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, I need to change my scaffold config a little bit. It's just a few lines, and scaffold is just another tool from Kubernetes ecosystem. But that's a nice one. It will allow me to do the thing quickly. So first of all, I'll be using my Oracle Cloud account. And to publish the images there, because I'll be building custom image, I need to find my tenancy ID. I keep forgetting how to find it. So here's a hint. If you are a user of Oracle Cloud, I mean, I don't expect many users of Oracle Cloud, but there are some nice parts of it.
The nice part being of Java Champion is getting some of the stuff for free, including some of the infrastructure that you can use to do some cool live streams.
Yeah, and this is really cool. I mean, I get a shitload of money, to be honest, that I can play around with different things on Oracle Cloud. It's nice. But anyways, I'll be building an image from the liiklus folder. So I set the context to the folder. And now I just need to copy this image reference to my deployment. So instead of this, I'll set this. Someone said that the replica is set to 2. It's actually 1. Not sure why he thought that it's 2. But anyways.
No. It was your replica set was set 2 because your voice was there twice. So
it was that's like a nice one.
It was a deep joke. Thanks. I guess it was Alex.
Good one.
Alex. Yes, it was Alexander. Good joke.
That's a good one. Yeah. So now we are going to deploy our custom Docker image. Although it's not customized, but it's still custom. So if we go to terminal, check the context. Okay, it's fine. So just deploy it. And while I deploy it, I'll check that we are not running the old pod anymore, but the new one. So pushing some Docker images. I just got my internet, but it's super slow, so it's gonna take a bit of time. But anyways, while we're pushing, I'll continue. So what I want to do here, I want to enable this JSON schema support, because I kind of didn't like what we were pushing. We were pushing some random events with string as body, and the type was just random. You can push whatever you want, but in a real system, most probably you have a set of types, a final set of types, by the way. So for that, I'll need to enable the schema plugin. And to enable the schema plugin, I'll go to GitHub. Configuration. Unfortunately, it's not documented yet, but the good thing about Spring Boot and Spring Properties is that you can open the source definition and you can follow what you can set. In our case, it will be schema enabled variable. So I can just do like this. Type, okay, we are fine with the JSON type, and we need to set the schema URL. And in our case, it will be something like app.schema dot. I don't remember whether I can use or not YAML. I think I can, yeah. Yay, more YAML.
Sorry.
Switch
to different. Yep. Sorry.
I need to create a schema file that I can take from maybe from test examples. The thing about liiklus is that there is plenty of integration tests, and if you're not sure about something, you can also have a look at the tests. The documentation will follow, of course, but for those who want to try it now, like now, you can follow the tests and they give you a lot of answers. But in our case, the schema would be the topic name, events, and the events themselves. As you can see, there is an example for cloud events, and cloud events doesn't differ from other type of an event. But anyways, we will follow it. And I don't remember what package you were using, so I'm just gonna check in Confluent Cloud.
What? Package for what?
For the event you sent. Let me just have a look, because I guess I can inspect messages thanks to this thing. Like, was it 23? Do you still have it in your?
Yes.
Can you give me an example of partition and offset that liiklus returned to you?
Yes. So partition 25, offset 21.
21. 25. Okay, cool. So the event type was this. But I don't like this event type, to be honest, because it doesn't actually say what happened. Okay, I see this part, but the event type should also have the type of the event, right? So let's create some meaningful type, at least something, because we have the schema, we have the opportunity to make the thing the right way. So let's do it. And in our case, it will be live streams. Let's say device edit. Okay. Victor?
Yes, I'm here.
Use me?
Yep.
Okay, then I take your silence as yes.
Yeah, you still hear me? You still there?
Yeah, I hear you.
Cool.
So what properties we will have? Obviously, device ID, type string, and what else? Maybe for now, it will be just enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have our event schema. Currently, it's a single file, but there are options to have a file per event type. I'll show it later. But anyways, now we need to add the schema to our application. something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should work. Frankly speaking, I haven't tried. Like, I haven't prepared at all. I just know
that's
that
whole purpose
work.
of the
exactly.
Whole purpose of this.
And if I look at the configuration and double check, but I think I set everything. Schema enabled true. And schema URL is set to this thing. Just maybe it should be file. Yeah, I think it should be file. Let's try it. Oh, by the way, I think we successfully deployed the previous instance. And if we go to pods, for example, we should see our custom image. Yeah, it's OCIR, blah, 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 code liiklus, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So we have our custom image deployed. And now let me deploy this new change.
While you're doing this, this scaffold guy, does it work with Spring build pack? Yes.
It does. I think there is even an example somewhere, and I know that some are using scaffold. Just tried things in the Spring team. So, anyways, I just deployed this thing. It's running for some seconds, so let's have a look at the logs, whether it started correctly or not. Yeah, I think it started correctly. Starting plugin. Okay, and we even see this is okay. This warning is kind of irrelevant, but yeah, at least it demonstrates that the schema is applied now. So, you know what? Let me try publishing something as I used to publish.
Okay, invalid MIME type must not be empty. Okay, so now you need to provide the type.
Yep, because now we're applying schema and we're saying that the schema is JSON schema. So if I go to Cloud Events, check the specification, it says that you can optionally, but in our case it's required, set
JSON schema?
No, data content type.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this thing. In liiklus event, it should be, and let me just open it here. Oh, really? Because I'm using grp curl, is why I have to.
Yeah, you need to switch. Or I can do it because we already have the publisher that can do this.
Okay, I'm about to do it. Just give me a sec.
This is a hacking session, so this is pretty cool.
Oh wow, nice. This one is fancy one. Because the content type is bytes. Or not the content type, but the data is bytes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we are in random stage. So if you run your thing, please try running your thing. You should also get the same exception. The exception can be improved, but we are good. I know what's happening.
Okay, so my app is still running, so I will do, and I will submit this request once again. Okay, internal server error in status 500, and I think I need to look into actual console in this case to get the down to this stack trace. Internal. Who broke something?
That's fine. We're trying to send a byte array, but it expects JSON. And since I mean, the error message could definitely be improved, and I haven't thought about it. But anyways, try sending JSON structure in the data field and set the content type.
Data set.
So we need to set data content type to something like application JSON.
And we will do something like.
Actually, scroll down a little bit and have a look at the message.
Here?
In the stack trace. Oh, sorry, in the
invalid MIME
message.
type. Yes, MIME type is not empty.
Okay, please continue.
So if I'll do this JSON, let's do JSON. Let's do message, and this one will get this hello thing. So IntelliJ will do the thing for me, and in this case I will include this guy. We will include this one, and we will include param space. So in this case we will close this one plus param. Not sometimes, almost every time when I'm dealing with strings in Java, I wanna just scream because I really like the way how string work in Groovy.
Oh yeah.
And like we need to switch to what, Java 14 to use like multi-string thing.
13, I think, or you can use Jabal, the thing I created that downgrades Java syntax to Java 8 target.
Oh wow. We can talk about this next time. All right, so redeploy. Let's see. Okay, internal server error. Let's see. So what do we have here? Okay, the same error as you did have. A heap byte buffer cannot cast to heap byte buffer are. So some of the casting errors, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Maybe the server side, we will broke something on the server side.
No, I think we are good on the server side, but we can inspect. Let me have a look. That's the beauty of live streams. You never know how it's gonna go.
Yep.
But may as well have broken something recently, so let me just have a check. We're using the latest version. Let's not forget about the very, very latest version. Cloud Van get data, which is this is interesting. I really love when such things happen, but it indeed comes as Let me have a look. And I think we are doing the wrong thing. We are sending the wrong thing.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah, just give me a second. And while I'm checking, could you please check whether the event type is correct or not? Because I remember we changed it to device ID. I mean, it's not related.
Okay, so what's the schema? IO Confluent Developer live streams. What was the?
I think it was device.edit.
Device.edit.
Live streams.device.edit.
And I try to. Yeah, I should have enabled the Spring tools, so it will just like.
Okay, so we're going to do the hardcore mode because I did break the thing.
Nice.
And it's just an RC, so I'm gonna fix it. But I'm gonna show you something else. and I'm gonna do it in a rush because I did not expect it. But anyways, let's do, you know what? Let's do Upcaster plugin.
Ooh, fancy.
Is it my screen or yours?
I'm showing your screen. Yep.
Okay, good. So it's gonna be fun.
So basically, explain while you're typing. Explain what you're doing. So we're trying to fix something.
Yes.
On the runtime, kind of, sort of.
Yes. Okay. That's fun. So what happens is, due to cloud events being added to liiklus just recently, the thing it works is the body is read-only byte buffer, and the schema preprocessor was expecting a byte array as body. So one thing I could do, I could just fix it in liiklus, but this is not cool. We can do better or fancier. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write a plugin that will kind of upcast the event and make it contain byte array instead of read-only byte buffer.
Okay.
Do you follow?
Yes, I follow. And the reason for that, we just want to, just do thing, and we can talk about this because we're close to the time where I need to give up everything and go to meetings.
Okay, so I'm gonna be really quick.
That's okay.
And for that,
we still have some time.
I'm gonna copy the plugin sample, for example. Okay. But I didn't expect that we will show how to build a custom plugin, yet here we are. Caster plugin.
This is exciting. This is great.
Yep.
I think.
And I mean, I must succeed, right?
Well, you can try.
Thanks. I appreciate your,
encouragement.
Yes, and that you believe in me.
Of course, I believe in you. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be nice.
So
while you're doing this, like, people in the internet, I'm wondering, like, what are you excited the most when you're watching this kind of live streams? When everything goes smoothly like butter, or like something fails? We need to scramble to find a solution, or like a Googling in the internet. So write down in the comment, like, what's the part of the show you excited the most, where just like you're just watching there and everything is just like amazing, or when the people on the stream, they start like banging their heads and just like, what the hell is going on?
Keep forgetting the version of this one.
What is that?
It's a very handy annotation processor from Google that adds a record to meta-inf service, and that's what liiklus is using for plugins.
All good. The plugin system that available with it's like a service. How it's called? Like
service provider.
Service provider. Like all good. The plugin system that was available in Java for years. And not many people actually know about this. I'm surprised.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a record preprocessor. So we have an envelope, and we know that envelope's body is the byte buffer, kind of. So we can actually cast it to read-only.
What happened?
It's just byte buffer. And And now, damn it. And now we need to change, and we have to read it to byte. So with value bytes, and then byte buffer wrap. Remember, yep. Okay. Bytes. Now we need to read byte buffer into bytes. I keep forgetting how to do it, but I think I just had this code somewhere here. Just give me a sec. If not, I'll just
Google it.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'll just either Google it or have a look at the plugin sample, because it has the byte manipulation thing. To string. Okay, not what I want. Then Java byte buffer read to byte array. And it's so embarrassing, like being a Java champion, Googling things like that. But yeah, I really suck at
I'm already calling
APIs,
to Java champion committing, saying that like Java champion is Googling some Java stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And now we even like more embarrassing. We have this like proof of this in internet.
Recorded.
So, yes.
So I'm gonna duplicate so that I'm not, messing with the original value. Then I need to allocate with duplicate remaining, and I guess I'm gonna just do duplicate get destination. I think, I don't know. Like I'm just trial and run thing. I'm just doing completable future, but I'm gonna show even more. Test compile.
And we didn't expect. This is something that we didn't expect and we didn't plan to show testing. But hey, now we're doing
definitely. Okay, come on, IntelliJ, just let me select this thing. Was it 15 version? I don't even remember. Oh, it's a release candidate, so just gonna use this one. So, no, not get duplicate. Oh, obviously, get bytes. So this thing, actually, I don't need the whole testing process. I can just create test. So nope. Source.
Command Shift T.
Test Java.
So I finally understand why some people typing faster. It's not because they're typing faster. Some people might notice in this live stream there is a small kitty cat is running on my toolbar, and actually it shows my processor load. So it's not me slow typing. It's just like because I'm running stream from here, I'm running screen sharing with Sergei, and this is why I'm typing slow. Okay, and
I need this on test compile level as well, so that I can use classes. But yeah, TDD for the win. Storage envelope. And I'm gonna create some test now and buffer. to completion get. As you can see, the preprocessor can be asynchronous, which means that it can also do some synchronous things like, I don't know, going to some external service and checking something before letting it publish to Kafka, or rate limiting, or whatever. And we need to assert that envelope get raw value instance of byte. Actually, assert equals expected. What was it? Okay. Envelope get raw value. Cast to byte array. So I hope I didn't mess with the byte buffer thing. So we still have 20 minutes, right? Or a bit less than 20 minutes.
Yeah, just like 15.
Okay, we almost got it. I keep making the same mistake like every damn time. Boom. So we have our plugin. Now if I go to liiklus Upcaster plugin and Gradle build it, we're going to improve it in the next episode, or maybe, no, okay, next episode. Okay, we are going to this Jeep, and we will be building everything with scaffold. But for now, I'll be just building it manually, because I need it only once, and then we'll include it into our Docker image. Let's check.
And for the next episode, I also need to research the scaffold, because it looks like exciting. Not writing the YAML stuff manually, which is always tedious and error prone, and always, plenty of copy pasting. Or I can use Kotlin DSL for writing my deploying my application.
So now in Upcaster Libs Upcaster plugin, we have the plugin. Cool. Which means that we only need to add it to our image by using this thing, app plugins, and there's a catch. I don't want to kind of hit right now, but you can control the order. Okay, actually, let me show this thing as well. You can control the order processor chain by using I'm just checking what I was using. Yep, okay. By implementing sortable. Yes, exactly. And if we implement sortable in our or order, damn it, what was the interface in Java? Not sortable?
Iterable?
No. No. I mean, let me check it here, but I should have it.
Comparable? No.
Comparable. Yes, it is comparable. Okay, I don't want to deal with it right now. We will do it later, I promise you. But for now, just to fix our demo, which went differently, I will code aaa.jar. Sorry for that, but we are doing like real live streaming. I'm gonna test it locally. Docker build. And we should see our plugin loaded. Upcaster plugin. Yep.
Nice.
We see it here. Let me have a look when... Okay, schema started first, so I need to order it. And we want to be the very first, which means that we should return, I guess, integer mean value. I think we can test it. Damn, it went so wrong. Oh, hello, build. This is where all's fun, right?
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And on my side, I also have a lot of fun because my second camera, my big cam, it's not going crazy. Maybe something with my cable. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, it's because it always go first, something like this. Okay, so I think this will do the job. I'm ready to deploy this thing, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you, Pedro. Yeah, I'm a bit worried, but yeah, that's how it works. Sometimes you have to work around things, sometimes you have to debug, or sometimes you simply fail. But things happen. At least if we are successful with this attempt, then it shows that you can do crazy things with liiklus. And yeah, just imagine your gateway being deployed and there is a bug, internal bugs that you cannot fix, and you cannot extend it with some plugins or something. Well,
technically it's not even internal bug. It's just like the bug in the schema parsing logic, right? So it's we're still not inventing a. So it didn't work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, then I need to be lower than this. Oh, Jesus, it's so fun and embarrassing at the same time.
So the good thing about this, you can always press the pause and after that see what is Sergei is doing. In this episode of live streams, I'll call "What is Sergei is doing."
Oh, did I run Scaran? That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, you did. Same. Now we have the same error.
Oh, really?
Same previous error returned back.
Okay. Okay, that's not something that I really want to do, but for the sake of this live stream, I'm gonna change it to this and this. And yeah, I'm now contributing to liiklus. I'm not saying that I'm workarounding something. I'm contributing to liiklus. I guess every next episode you just remind me about. Remember how you screwed up with that thing? Yeah,
it's fine.
No, it was.
It's all right. That's right. The it happens, and it's fun to always fun to watch someone is working well. You're not. So
And I'm pretty sure I made some silly mistake and my plugin is actually working.
Yeah. It's the same thing that happened with me yesterday. So what I did, I was writing the consumer for Kafka, and I was trying to figure out what the hell is going on, why it doesn't work, and like why it's I don't see some output. It turns out I forgot add component annotation, but hey, it happens.
Oh yeah,
it
Classic.
happens. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I know why it doesn't work. Because the raw value is cloud event. Not what I assumed. That's the thing. Okay.
Okay, so you
Just give me a
have
second.
you have another second to fix the plugin.
Okay. Event. Really? So we'll see what's faster. But yeah. So cloud event, and we need to change get cloud event, get data, get. And now we change it to another cloud event. With value. I think my hotfix will be faster, but anyways, I'll try. I'll give it a try.
Okay, so there's a challenge. Will Sergei plugin will be faster than the rebuilding liiklus and building image?
Okay, I'm gonna send this one and byte buffer. Oh, that's the thing. Okay, that's the SDK change. Okay, that's something I cannot control. Now I remember. We need the hotfix. Sorry for that.
SDK change on cloud event?
No, for for cloud event, but for our own implementation of cloud event. So
now it's time to go to your GitHub and open issue, so you will not forget what's the issue, and you can fix this.
I'll actually submit a pull request from this change right after the stream, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
But it actually was pretty exciting and pretty amazing. So, and this is where we probably will put this ellipse and saying, okay, so we'll see you next week, where we will continue to hacking around this platform. We still have plenty of things to discuss. We today we didn't do much, but at least we explored some of the cool things, and this is the purpose of the live stream. We're doing something that's fun and exciting. We're trying to learn something, and you're also learning with us. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget, no, this different, over here. So I'm pointing to Sergei's Twitter. Just go follow him. You're probably already here because you saw his stream announcement. Go follow me on Twitter, somewhere here as well. And you will not miss. Subscribe to this channel. We're gonna be continue to exploring this stuff. If you want to see like a more polished things, this is not the place, as you learned today, because we are doing some of the things that maybe not polished, but they will be in future. And I think I'm excited about this personally. I really like the way where we go. We have some of the roadmap that we slightly outlined between ourselves, and but we can do like detours and look to some other
like
things.
It happened today.
Yeah, like for example today. But next time we'll try to see we can combine this with like existing tools. and how we can get use of these messages with different approach. Plus, I also want to deploy my application in Kubernetes as well. Maybe next time we'll talk a little bit more about KSQL and the Kafka streams. We'll see how it goes. I want to say thank you, Sergei, for spending this time with us. Sergei,
thanks.
Anything to say to our listeners?
Yes, we still have 5 time, and I'm waiting for the Docker image. So I still hope that we'll be able to run it because, yeah, I know that it's working. Just the latest and greatest and let's play format sometimes means that you have to fight with some things. And as you can see, we are really doing let's plays. Like we just take some technology, in this case, some technology I know, but as you can see, maybe not perfectly know. Anyways, and we give it a spin. We challenge it. Today we challenge the schema. By the way, build is successful.
So let's see.
My fingers crossed. But anyways, we challenge the technology, we challenge ourselves, and then yeah, we share what we are doing. And sometimes we will fail, like today. Although it's still not final failure.
You redeploying?
Yes, I'm redeploying, and I'm all excited, and I really hope that it will be last minute. Yay! It's okay. Octane crashed.
It happens.
So the technology is on my side today. I started the day with a huge fight with my internet provider, and I should have listened to it. It was like, dude, don't like. So now, if I send,
and in this,
this cannot be true. This cannot be true. Line 91. There is no line 91. Why does it use?
And that's where we want to say goodbye, and you will stay with us until the next week, and you will see how this thing will be solved on the next episode of live streams.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us. It's time for me to, take off my headphones, switch to my behind the scenes look. Say thank you very much, everyone who joined us today. Stay tuned, subscribe, and as always, have a nice day. Bye-bye.